Yeah. Staring at him. So that he sees it, she'll take a picture.
No, you just want
I just want to get one from the two shots.
right?
Well, they're gonna say their name and their comment.
Yeah.
That's different.
It's a theory, it's in a classroom, it's
Alrighty. Did a nice job on the float.
Oh, thank you.
Public comment. Do we have anybody here for public comment? Okay, if you state your name and where you're from, sir?
Yes, Bernie Cullen, Rowley. As before, I'm speaking simply as a concerned Rowley voter and taxpayer. After I spoke during the public comment period at your October 9th meeting about going forward with the new building project without amending the 1967 agreement, Chairman Woods said at the 7-minute mark of that meeting, "We do not have any role in the operating agreement." The 1967 agreement actually says something different. Section 7B reads, and I quote, "Any proposal for amendment, except a proposal for amendment providing for the withdrawal of a member municipality, may be initiated by a majority vote of all the members of this school committee." My non-lawyer plain reading of this part of the agreement is that the Whittier School Committee can indeed propose changes in the agreement. You can, and I believe you should, propose changes to an agreement that no longer serves the member communities as it did back in 1967. So the ball is really in your court for proposing these amendments. Second, again, I do not and cannot speak for Rowley, but I do know that the Rowley Select Board at the recent Select Board meeting 11/18/2024 reviewed, discussed, and refined the proffered memorandum of agreement between Whittier and Northern Essex concerning a shared campus. Rowley sent a detailed refusal to the MSBA and copied both Northern Essex and Whittier. The bottom line remains the same. You have to get all the horses to agree to pull this cart. Thank you.
Alrighty. Moving on. Minutes.
Move to approve November 12th minutes. Second.
Second. Any comment?
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan, she's on mute. Carol, you're on mute. There you go. Yes. Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Ms. Delay,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Ms. Lowell,
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor,
Yes.
Ms. True,
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Slavak.
Yes.
Alrighty. Approval of minutes, executive session minutes. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Early,
What are we doing?
executive
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Mr. Lai.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mr. Irving. Lowell. Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
Payment of bills, report, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Treasurer's report?
Yes.
Treasurer's
Move. So moved. Yeah, second.
second. Any comments?
Mr. Early.
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan.
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Lai.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mr. Irving.
Aye.
Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Ms. Lowell.
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
All right, moving on to communications, the student representative report with Kaylee.
Good evening, Superintendent Lynch and all other members of the committee. Welcome to the and with clubs. For the peer-to-peer club, MSPCA Towel and Blanket Drive was a huge success. They were able to donate 7 full They were also teaming up with the Interact Club next to have a sock drive in January. They are also hoping to start a canned food drive in the near future. Interact Club participated in the Rotary Club's community meals at the Senior Center in Haverhill. They also just participated in a Haverhill Rotary Club luncheon where they all presented their service projects to the club via Google slideshow. Ski Club raised over $250 with their raffle sales towards their trips. They met December 5th to go over their first trip, January 10th, at Pat's Peak in Henniker, New Hampshire. The Board Game Club has also had consistent attendance with about 15 students each week. These students are hanging out in the library after school playing a variety of games. The Chess Club has continued to grow with 25 active members. They just completed their first tournament, which was highly competitive, and will host a bullet tournament after the holidays. The Drama Club is holding auditions for the spring musical, The Little Mermaid, on December 10th and 12th, with callbacks scheduled for December 17th. Already, they have more than 40 students signed up to audition and work backstage. The cast will be posted for the holiday break, and they will start rehearsals in January. The Whittier Poetry Society has had fun reading poems and writing them on a 1940 Royal Arrow typewriter. The group is small but mighty, just like the pen is mightier than the sword. The Environmental Club EnviroLog project is moving forward. Engineering 3D printed the phone, carpentry completed the sign, and students soon can upload their nature photos to a website tracking environmental changes. Plus, the soft plastic recycle drive is approved, with donation details coming next week via social media. Skills USA consists of 12 students and 3 advisors who attend the Fall State Leadership Training and Conference. Students conducted a Double Good Popcorn fundraiser, and the chapter raised $1,473 towards that goal. On November 22nd, some of the members of the Multicultural Club attended the Path to the Nazi Genocide presentation by Debbie Colton in the Lapin Foundation and enjoyed a K-pop by a member. Their Coats for Kids drive continues. Drop off gently used coats to the 3rd floor by January 3rd. The student government is proud of their student officers and members who are working hard to plan some winter spirit for December and February. GSA students will be attending the Northeast region for the GSA Leadership Council this Thursday at Greater Lowell. Students will be networking with the GSA Northeast region, participating in leadership development activities, and providing feedback to DES LGBTQIA+ policies. Continuing with sports, football had an incredible year as they qualified for the Super Bowl for all vocational schools. They lost a tough one to a very good Bay Path team. They played at Assumption College. The Whittier Tech Amesbury hockey team is off to a strong start. After successful tryouts, 25 Whittier Tech students are on the roster. They were in action this past Monday against Salem. The Whittier Tech boys basketball team is also off to an amazing start. They had 95 students sign up who have shown lots of promise early on in the season. Their first game is Thursday, December 12th on the road against Greater Lawrence. The Whittier Tech girls basketball team is looking forward to another successful season. This team can make some noise in the state should everyone stay healthy. Coach Bradley will be coming up upon his 400th win this season. and girls rugby are also off to an amazing start. They have 65 candidates with 10 girls on the team this season. They look forward to continuing to build up the boys and girls program and hope for a strong season. Thank you.
Thank you. Very busy.
Yes.
All right, move along. School Assistant Superintendent. Dennis.
Good evening, Mr. Vice Chair and Superintendent Lynch, rest of the school committee members. I'm just going to add on to the busyness here. Whittier Tech's fall, as you heard, it's finished and officially concluded with Mr. Bradley in the Super Bowl. They lost a tough one. I just want to extend my congratulations to the students, the coaches, again, parents, guardians, and the Booster Club for making an outstanding season as we go into the winter season, as you heard. And a special shout out goes to the coaches for their dedication and leadership, their supervision for these late hours, and contribute to another successful year so far. The Booster Club, the sports banquet is going to be held, the fall sports banquet is going to be held the 19th on Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. We also hosted our Parents' Night. We had, if you remember, Meet the Parents close to end of September, but this was our official Parents' Night, and we had a pilot program which was we allowed the parents and guardians to pre-schedule online conferences with teachers in advance using the Google. It was a first for us and quite a success. And, you know, moving forward in serving teachers and parents and guardians, I hope maybe that will be the way to go. And just one of the stories of a parent that just wanted to see one teacher, didn't have to wait in line, scheduled that time, came in and left that night. So hopefully it's something that we all can agree on, but we will find out in the future. So another success. The tours, 8th grade students tomorrow. These middle school tours provide an excellent opportunity to showcase our school. As you know, J.G. Whittier is our last school in tomorrow, so that's also been quite a success in the schools coming in. Our holiday is in full swing, making a significant impact each by easing the challenges faced by our students and their families. Thanksgiving was quite a success. We helped out 70 plus families with basket cards were given out, and I just want to thank all who have contributed to the fund so far. We just want to make sure that, you know, special thanks goes out to Kara Cosmos in helping that out and signing the checks to get those cards, and Cheryl Began, who's been quite instrumental in this for years. She used to wrap presents for the kids during the holidays, and also the guidance department, and also the foundation. We have the foundation committee for coordinating the process, as well as staff members who have generously donated, or anybody else who has donated. If you're interested, online you could jump right on foundation if you want to donate in that, you know, for the holidays. And as you know, this time of year, you know, it's a tough time for some of our kids, you know, these next weeks before we take off for the break. So much needed and much appreciated to all. Auditions, as you heard, The Little Mermaid, and, you know, I'll be back here telling you the exact in March. We're going to have the Friday, you know, Saturday, Sunday times of that, so auditions are there. Our multicultural club is once again collecting coats until Friday, January 3rd. Donating coats, and there's a donation box located on our 3rd floor, just outside the main. If you've donated any type of coats to this point. Progress reports will be issued this Friday. That's term 2 this Friday, so we're flying through term 2 and progress reports. Also staff in our positive culture that we breed here, thanks to starting with the school committee and all. We have a potluck coming up for our staff, and that's held on Thursday, December 19th in our curriculum office. Brings in something and some goodies. We have a fun day that day. It's a lot of eating starting from 7 o'clock till whenever time we're out of here. So we have our early release day, December 20th, just some scheduling stuff, and then holiday vacation. As you know, We have school to January 1st, and we're back on that January 2nd, Thursday, Friday. This is the year, every 7 years, it's like we have Wednesday, where Christmas and New Year's lies there. So we're gonna come back the following week on that Thursday, Friday, get ready for the week ahead. So that's all I have for you tonight. Yes, sir.
How was the turnout for the eighth graders?
Pretty good. You know, we everybody, everybody's cooperated, and they came in. The buses came in, and the tours that we gave, kids very excited to come on over here, and the staff from the other schools. So yeah, very good turnout once again.
Am I correct
Wait,
to say that?
can I just chime in a little bit on
Yes.
that? So, this year we are gonna try something different. I think it's January 19th, 16th. We are going to have almost like an exploratory program for eighth graders, so we're sending out invitations, we're gonna respond, we're gonna have them do a 2-hour project with our teachers. And then while that's going on, we're gonna meet with the parents and go over, Whittier information kinds of things. We thought that this was an opportunity for us to try something a little bit different, because not every school toured all students. And we want to have an opportunity to meet all students, if that's available. So, we're gonna give this a try and see if it works out, and, it's always good to try something new and different, so we're excited about this.
How will that be? I don't know, for a better word, advertised.
Yeah.
So we are sending out the profile of the graduate to all eighth graders soon, and then we're also sending them an invitation for this program, and then a sign-up.
Are you sending invitations to the school?
Not to the schools, to the students
Just to the
individually,
All right.
eighth grade students.
When's the banquet? Where are they having it?
We're gonna do the same. We'll start off, in the cafeteria and then head.
Am I safe to say that the Whittier buses will be touring, bringing all the kids here?
Yeah, so we'll have regular sports buses that are going off that night. The after buses, because a lot of kids will
And
be
you
in the
said
winter
that
sports.
bringing the kids home?
Correct,
Thank
correct,
you.
from the sports buses.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else?
So is that like an evening event, or is that after
Yes,
school?
6 to 8.
Yeah.
Okay, great,
And the teachers are gonna have 1 hour prep, so 1 hour for the teachers to prep, and then the program for 6 to 8.
super.
So that exposure would be really nice for the, kids that might not have the chance to jump on the bus and get here, the middle school students, so that's awesome.
Is that RSVP or?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions, or? Well, listen, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever you celebrate, thank you, if I don't see everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Business manager, Kara Cosmo.
For the business. So before you tonight is donations that have been received. We are just looking for school committee approval to accept those donations.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, can we do that all collectively for all?
I think she needs that.
Second.
Any comments?
Very generous,
Very good.
$8,500
Absolutely.
donation for pallets and hardware, that's great.
Anything else?
Mr. Early,
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan, Mr. Rossi,
Yes.
Mr. Love, Mr. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Mr. Irving,
Aye.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Ms. Lowell,
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slabowski.
Yes.
All right, that's approved. All right, part-time liaison for Whittier Tech and Northern Essex Community College, Sean Reagan.
I'll be doing that too.
Covering that as well. That has tonight.
Yes. There's definitely this going around Whittier right now. So tonight before you, I wanted to show you some of the work that has been happening with Whittier Tech and Northern Essex Community College.
With Sean not here?
Yes, he's sick.
Okay, thanks.
And share, some of the work that's been done over the last few months, almost close to a year, that we've been working together. I have some really wonderful news. It looks like we are on the agenda with MSBA to go into the eligibility period Friday, in their meetings from 1 to 3. So we are looking forward to that. We do think that there are going to be conditions for us that we're gonna have to manage as we move forward with the process. But we're very grateful to M second chance. You don't get second chances all the time and so quickly, and we understand the amount of work that needs to happen. But this is an opportunity for that has already been happening, and some of the questions that we have and some of the things that we're gonna need to kind of work through. And we really hope to have as many members of our community involved in this process as possible. You know, we wanna hear as many voices. You know, we know that, you know, not everyone's gonna agree, but if we find some way to agree to move forward with this proposal. So, you know, what we need to do is address the critical needs of both schools while expanding the opportunities for our students. There's a rising demand for career technical education. Our admissions numbers continue to go up. There are financial challenges building schools, especially public schools nowadays. And we felt that through the building project last year. And then looking at in the workforce readiness of our students, and then the growing need of a skilled workforce. I mean, every report you hear about the workforce in our region, they really are desperate for skilled workers, and that's something that we do here at Whittier. So the barriers, you know, are the high cost of a new school as we move forward. You know, the community's overwhelmingly rejected the building project from last year, and you know, we need to learn lessons from that. But the facility, Whittier Tech facility, is nearing its end of its useful life. And how do we maintain that as we look forward to another building project? And then balancing local K through 12 schools and vocational enrollment. Some of our cities and towns, their school enrollment has decreased significantly, and then there's others that have increased. So trying to find that balance that we're looking for within our community. And then evolving state policies that impact career technical education, and especially when you're looking at admissions. There's a lot of discussion about admissions. You know, my goal would be to accept every student, but that would mean we'd have a school of over 2,000 students, and I'm not sure the region's willing to build a school for 2,000 students. So this is a chance to be innovative and create efficiencies when you're looking at two buildings or two institutions sharing a campus. This could be very pioneering, blending career technical education with college and career readiness. Again, the growing demand for career technical education and early college programs, the expanded access of free associate's degrees, Mass Educate and Mass Grant Plus, and then the shared campus offers a modern, efficient, and affordable solution for both institutions. Oops. What Whittier Tech at Northern Essex means. So it means a safe, modern facility for all students, expanded access for vocational career training and early college programs, the opportunity for every student to graduate on time with on-the-job experience with a valuable workforce credential. That's very important, that our students walk out the door with credentials. And this is preparing for every kind of learner. You know, our academic programs with state-of-the-art technology, hands-on job experience, the innovation and integration of a unified identity, sustainable funding models, high-quality teaching and instruction, and then obviously our community and business partnerships are invaluable when you're looking at developing career technical education. And then of wraparound student support services, which I think everyone in this room feels very strongly about. So these are the discussions that are having, you know, our levels of collaboration. Is it two schools on one campus? Is it two schools with shared space and services? Is it two schools with one common identity, shared space and services? Or is it a fully integrated school model? People feel very passionately in many ways about it either being a fully integrated school or two schools on one campus. So those are some of the discussions that we're going to have, and I hope that you participate in those discussions. You know, this is going to be a long discussion. This isn't something we're going to make decisions about in the next month or 2 months. It's in the next year or two. Heard that. Key considerations for success. How to adapt a new vocational admissions policy. As you know, there's a lot of discussion in the state about that. And then what are the goals of the early college on this campus? Which industry should drive planning planning and how will this impact the Whittier Tex Regional Agreement? You know, we hear that at almost every meeting that we go to, that people want that regional agreement to be looked at and to be revised. This is a chance to be innovative and create efficiencies. So some of the things that have been done, there was a memorandum of agreement that was sent to all of our cities and towns. Most did sign that memorandum of agreement, and that go to MSBA. Convene a working group of stakeholders in collaboration, and that's generally, I think what they're looking at is having the mayors or select board presidents as part of that collaboration. I think they're looking at a meeting towards the end of January for that. Progress in early college initiatives and shared classroom use, and then develop a 5-year capital plan for Whittier Tech. You know, we don't want to, if we're in the MSBA process again, we don't want to have purchases, but we do have to be able to keep this building moving forward. So building the foundation, this is Northern Essex. They have worked with Jones Architecture, looking at a space utilization study. We're looking at exploring alternative funding sources for Whittier Tech's capital needs, especially our wastewater treatment plant. And then we need to look at, if we do move over to Northern Essex Community College, what that looks like for land, and what is the arrangement with our stakeholders, with the state. And then we're also, it looks like we are getting a grant for a clean lab construction and programming at Northern Essex for the joint project. So the path forward is conducting an MSBA, building a new Whittier Tech school facility, renovating Northern Essex spaces for shared use, and then evaluate future use of Whittier Tech's current campus. So this is a bold step for the future. This has never been done in our state before. But Whittier Tech and Northern Essex can redefine education together in this region. The shared campus offers an innovative, cost-effective solution for both institutions again, and together we can prepare students for success in education, careers, and life. So let's make this happen. Friday is a very big day. We're looking forward to meeting with MSBA. I'm sure they're going to have some questions and some concerns, and we just need to continue to work, keep our head down, keep working, because this is really important to our region, to our kids, and to our staff here. Any questions?
So if MSB says you have benchmarks or a timetable that we have to follow
Yes.
to get things?
Yes, so there's, when you're invited into eligibility, there are certain things that you need to kind of check off to make sure. Eligibility, we looked at the last building project, it took about 2 years to complete before you are invited into feasibility. You know, we're meeting with MSBA to look at the conditions of the eligibility will be, and I'm meeting with them tomorrow, but that will be a part of what they do.
Okay.
Question. We have the possible funding source or partial funding source. Does the have funding sources there that might be available to them?
That's what we're looking at. You know, we're looking at multiple funding sources, sources for K through 12 education, and then sources for post-secondary education. We're also looking at foundations and looking for other types of grants that might be available.
Possibility you could apply to the, if we still have a Department of Education.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be a unique model program for the whole nation. And I would think that perhaps a higher source might even be available on the federal level.
Yes, we will turn over every rock because it's really important this happen, but we understand the financial constraints of our community and need to do our due diligence for sure.
Thank you.
I know we're getting the report from the public comment that was held this fall. Will that feed into the eligibility report we give back to, if we're invited into eligibility? Is that going to play a role in that next phase?
It may or may not. I mean, that report will come out in January, but I think that report, we've received draft information, and really it's looking at the workforce, it's looking at lessons from the last project. So yes, obviously it will impact at some point, but it's not part of the eligibility process.
question, but an obligation on the towns to pay a certain percentage of the whole, so in other words, with the last round, right, the state funded,
Mhm.
the towns were on the hook to pay the difference.
Mhm.
If there's additional funding and or, you know, something from the state as it relates to, the college,
Mhm.
is there anything legally that says, you know, in that case, maybe the towns and cities aren't carrying their weight? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right, I'd be worried that way there, oh, there's this law that says the towns and cities
Yeah.
have to pay X percent and they're not doing that, so we're gonna kill the whole thing.
Well, I don't think there's a law that says you have to pay this percent, but we can't get through the MSBA grant and through other grants. Obviously, the regional cities and towns will have to pay that difference.
Yeah,
So that obviously will be a work in progress. Right now, that's based on our regional agreement. And so as we move through this process, organically, does that regional agreement look different than it does now?
only whatever that net is, has to be distributed based on the agreement today,
Yes.
unless the agreement changes, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
I know when we first started this process with Northern Essex, we've had some of our local community governments, their select boards and stuff. Have we had any state representatives, the state senate and stuff?
Yes.
And then from that, again, we talked about working for the federal government. I know they're looking to increase the number of employees at shipyards across the country, so there'll be a bigger need for that, because they know we need technical, skilled people. So there's a reason for them to maybe be involved to see this.
Right. The state is very interested in this project and understands the importance of what we're trying to do here at Whittier. And so we've been meeting with local legislators and local leaders and trying to get everybody on the same page. You know, at the end of the day, there is a cost that comes to building a building. And, you know, we are, in ways, a conflicted in towns that are going to be in a building project. There are other cities and towns that need a police station or a fire station or a senior center. But we just need to make this as fiscally responsible as we possibly can and try to look at every avenue to funding to move forward with this project.
Any other questions?
So, but every single funding, every funding formula is on the table, right?
Yes.
However it comes out, and then this committee would be the committee that makes that decision?
Well,
Accept which funding formula, is that?
Well, it's a
Decide
lot of
between-
processes. There'd be
Yeah.
a school building committee that would be a part of this, then it would be the school committee that would approve whatever the school building committee it chooses. So that, you know, we also have a working committee. There's a lot of, we're trying to get as many stakeholders involved in the process as we possibly can. But we are a long ways away from
Right,
making any kind of financial decisions. We need to know what we're looking at for a building. And again, like I said, the eligibility, the eligibility is almost 2 years and we haven't even hired an architect at that
Okay.
point. So this is a multi-year project.
And is there anything that says Whittier has to be in a Whittier-owned facility, or could this be like we're using?
I think we're looking at shared resources.
Okay.
You know, and again, those are agreements that have to be
Sure,
made between the
right,
college. They're, you know, it's not simple by any means. It's definitely a complicated model. But
It's never been done before.
it's never been done before. One to
Yeah.
get ideas from.
Early?
I think it's an honor for us to be invited, even to start talking about it again. And we're only, 10 months, 11 months ago, you know, we're at a different peak, a lot of moving parts here. I think it's credibility to the school itself in general, to even get this close. Thank you.
Right. And we have to learn lessons from last time.
We have.
We have to learn lessons from last time, and we have to do better.
Any other questions, comments? Moving on. Time to change hats. Reports, recommendations. Superintendent.
Good evening, Vice Chair Fitzgerald, members of the committee tonight. I just want to review some of the things that have been happening. I want to, on November 13th, I attended the YMCA year. I want to congratulate our two nominees, Aaron Dolan and Chris Gerber. School is a part of the board at the YMCA, so thank you for putting on a wonderful event. And Kara Cosmas is too, if she's listening out there. Kara, thank you. On Thursday, November 14th, I attended the breakfast with the police chief and fire chief in Merrimack. This is a wonderful opportunity to meet members of the senior center and have a delicious breakfast on November 14th. On Monday, November 18th, I met with Lane Glenn, president of Northern Essex, to discuss possibilities of a shared campus. November 18th, I attended the Lake Chamber of Commerce annual meeting at Michael's Fun Hall in April. Governor Haley was the guest speaker, and we all had a chance to meet with her and discuss this possible building project. On Tuesday, November 19th, I did the introduction listening session with the UMass Donahue Institute. That final report is coming out mid-January, and I will make sure that all the members of this committee receive. On Wednesday, November 20th, I attended the Directors and Superintendent Special Ed Working Group at Triton High School. We are all trying to work together ways to meet the needs of our special education students in our region and have it be a cost-effective solution. You know, a lot of great minds sitting together can usually come up with a plan that is pretty great, and I've enjoyed working with this team. On Thursday, November 21st, I hosted the local superintendents for a Thanksgiving buffet here at Whittier Tech, and I believe they all showed up. You know, if you invite them, they will come. On Thursday, November 21st, I attended Parents' Night and the football game. I saw Mr. Slavoski here. I saw Mr. Early. It was pouring rain that day. But it was a busy night at Whittier, and Whittier did come home with a win. On Friday, November 22nd, I attended the Whittier Tech DESE Kickoff Data Success Remote Meeting. They have asked us to be a part of this pilot program, and it's to look at our scheduling system and to see if we are using our resources effectively and efficiently. On Monday, December 2nd, I attended the Northern Essex Whittier Tech Planning Group meeting. This meeting was held here at Whittier Tech. This was the last planning meeting before the final version of that Donahue study. On Wednesday, December 4th through December 6th, I attended the CASE Leadership Conference with Kelly Fay, our Director of Curriculum and Professional Development, and Christine Morrison, our Director of People Personnel. Opportunity to hear about the local and federal legislation that will impact our education over the next year. On Tuesday, December 10th, I had a Zoom meeting with Senator Tarr and Representative Hasner. We discussed improving communication with our local officials and the possibility of a building project with Northern Essex. Today, I met with Debbie Egan, the Raleigh Town Administrator from the town, the Vice Chair and Chair of the Select Board. From the town of Raleigh's perspective, they feel like the regional agreement needs to be amended and fixed before they're able to support any type of building project. I do hope that they will attend these project meetings and be a part of the process forward, because we are a long way before getting approval on a building project. I want to thank Angel, he's back there. Whittier Tech does have a new Whittier Tech app, so please feel free to check out the app. It goes off once or twice a day telling you the local news that's going on here at our school, but it's already been a huge success. So I have 2 field trips before you. A field trip for the plumbing program to Nashua, to Mega Press and Pure Flow. The dates are February 14th and February 28th, 2025.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any comment?
Proper.
Do we have the proper paperwork?
We sure will have it before they go.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, roll call.
Mr. Early? Mr. Rossi? Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
All right, approved.
There's one more field trip. This is to Pico Mountain. Is that right, Miss Lowell?
Yes.
All right, March 1st, 2025, and that mountain is in Vermont.
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Comments, Mr.
The right paperwork?
We will have it before those students attend.
Thank you.
Any other questions, concerns? Roll call.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan? Yes. Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Ms. Delai.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Mr. Irving.
Aye.
Mr. Murphy. Ms. Lowell.
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor.
Yes.
Ms. True.
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor.
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski.
Yes.
Okay, it's approved. Is that all, Madam Superintendent?
That is all I have for you tonight.
Excellent, thank you. Moving on, old business, there's no old business posted. Move on to new business. We have the approval of the school committee legal counsel, which we will need a vote for.
Sorry. So, Mr. Wood's not here. I'm doing duty tonight, quadruple duty tonight. We interviewed along with, Mary Delai, Lisa O'Connor, Scott Wood, myself, interviewed, several, legal institutions. There was a vote to recommend to the entire committee to move forward with Valario, Dominello, and Hillman, for attorneys committee.
I'll offer that motion.
Any comments or questions? Mr. Murphy?
Is there a current contract and when is it up? And
There is
so-
not a current
okay,
contract,
So when will the new,
as soon as we get them on
Okay.
board.
so I want to hear?
Mr. Early?
Yeah, the financial, is any, are they bidding on it? Is there financial numbers or?
Part of the, RFP did, the request for how much it would be. The committee that met on that looked at and they also felt that this was the organization that they wanted to move forward
And
with.
they agreed to working for,
Yes,
I'm talking about the firm,
yes, it's in their bid,
okay?
yes.
All right. Thank you.
Anything else?
Is this going to be the same firm that will, like for you?
Yes, so it will work for me, for school committee, for personnel, that thing, negotiations. We will continue to have a separate firm for special education and student, types of issues.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion to
We need a motion on the floor. Yeah, do you have a motion on the floor?
do it?
We do.
Sure. Okay, roll.
Lee?
Apologies.
No problem.
Quick question.
No.
The superintendent will obtain references. Did you do that already?
I did, and they were wonderful.
Thank you. Yes.
Ms. Sullivan? Yes. Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor? Mr. Slavoski?
All right, approved. Report to special committees. Executive Scott Wood here. Are we still wearing that hat?
Have an executive subcommittee meeting, to look at the budget January meeting.
Okay.
Is that early? Or early?
It's our regular January meeting.
Yes, that'd be what, third, it's the eighth?
Eighth.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a quick turnaround.
yeah.
Right.
Alrighty, instructional and personnel, it's true.
We haven't met.
At this point, there's not, and we will have something, as we move forward in February or January, February. Or February, I should say, sorry.
Okay. Plant operations, Mr. Murphy.
There's minutes of that last meeting in your packet, and I move for approval.
We have a second.
Second.
Any comments, questions? Roll call.
Mr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan? Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Ms. Delai?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Irving?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Yes.
Ms. Lowell?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Ms. True?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connor?
Yes.
Mr. Slavoski?
Yes.
Will we be looking for a meeting?
I have to look at when the RFP, so if I can get back to you about that.
Okay. Salary negotiation, Mr. Early.
We have not, but we will be after the first of the year, we'll be setting something up.
Yes.
We have a lot of work ahead of us.
And policy, Mr. Irving.
Mr. Vice Chair, I believe we're caught up, but I need direction from the superintendent.
Well, we did meet regarding admissions, and I think at the next school committee meeting, the chair will set up an ad hoc meeting, committee to look at admissions, as we move forward. But I will be bringing the entire school committee admissions policy for a, review, so that, we can take that care of that, for the rest of the school year.
Do we need a meeting prior to that or not?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. And that is all we have tonight. I have a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Joe.
Have a great holiday.
Thank you.